What is up, guys? We are back again on this vlog hype. I actually really like recording vlogs, even though you know it from our channel, purely because it allows you to get a more practical glimpse into training, nutrition, whatever it is that we do. And I think people learn a lot more from actually seeing stuff being implemented rather than just reading about a concept or hearing about a concept. You know, actually seeing it implemented and put into practice, the whens, the wheres, the whos, the whys, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like actually seeing it being put into practice really makes the theoretical stuff more applicable. And obviously that's what we try to do with all of our articles, you know, make theoretical stuff applicable, not just, you know, wax poetic and be like, oh, these are the different scientific whatever bullshit. That's not what we're interested in doing. Like, if you want to do that, just go get a degree, pick up a textbook. Like, that's where you get that information. If you want to learn this stuff where it's like, this is what the science says, this is what you should or could interpret that science to mean, and this is how you put it into practice. That's much more what we're actually looking to do. Now, on top of that, you know, having a vlog, having a record of all the fun stuff we get up to is, sorry, there's a plane, you can kind of see it in the background making some noise. But yeah, having a vlog, having a log of all the kind of stuff, the fun stuff that you get up to, you know, it's kind of nice to look back on it and see what did you get up to that week, what did you get up to that day, what were your thoughts at that time, you know. So this is as much for me as it is for you guys. So yeah, like, follow along if you want, don't if you don't. Realistically, we haven't given you much reason to be emotionally invested in following this stuff, because quite frankly we just left you hanging. We just didn't continue recording vlogs. We didn't put the effort into actually producing content that you guys want to watch and see. Like, you may have been following along on the podcast, seeing all the stuff that we put up there or discuss there. So I know there is interest from people in terms of how we are doing, what we're doing, how we're progressing with stuff, how we're training, all that kind of jazz. So I know there is some interest there. Some guys, girls are interested in seeing that kind of stuff. So we will hopefully be continuing with these vlogs. Now, you may also have noticed that it is quite sunny out, some nice trees around, and that is because I am in Boise, Idaho, right? So this young Irish buck is in Boise, Idaho, and people, sorry, there's another plane. We're not even near the airport. That is quite loud. Yeah, the reason I am in Boise, Idaho is, quite frankly, there is no reason. It just looked good. I wanted to spend some time in America, and this looked like a really nice place, and I've been here a month so far, and it is a really nice place. Lots of hiking to do, lots of exploring to do, really nice weather all the time. Like, even when it's overcast, like this today is overcast, even when it's overcast, it's warm and sunny. So yeah, it's kind of fun. So yeah, I'll be taking you along, talking you through, showing you what we're getting up to, or sorry, what I'm getting up to over here, and hopefully you enjoy that stuff. How do you manage your nutrition in America?
Not doing this logic.
How do you manage it?
I don't.
Is that how you manage your nutrition? What you get?
A burger with chips and sausage.
I think mine's better. And we are back home now. But yeah, what are you laughing at? On that, managing your nutrition, that's what I want to talk about today, because this is something that people kind of shit the bed on when they go on holidays. And they were on holidays for 3 months. Like, Laura's working I'm not. I'm just relaxing, chilling out. But being out of your normal schedule can really lead you to not have the most perfect nutrition, right? And what I mean by that is just because you don't know how to manage your nutrition to stay on track in a new environment, you just kind of go, look, I can't do it, so I'm just going to eat whatever. Now, that might be fine. That might be actually what you want, what you need if you are on holidays for a week, you know? But if you're coming over to somewhere, wherever it is, and you're going to be here like us for 3 months, you need to develop new eating strategies, new food environments, new habits to allow you to stay on track with your overall goals. Now, with us, or with me over here, we've been training in the morning pretty much at least 4 days per week. I usually go 5 to 6. Laura sometimes only goes 3. But but yeah, we've been going pretty much consistently 4 times per week, and I have also been doing some jiu-jitsu here, kind of sporadically. Like, obviously I'd like to do it more consistently, have it actually built into the schedule, but at the same time I also want to experience America. So as a result, nutrition has to be on point, because if you're trying to train, which I was trying to train most days, well, not most days, a lot of days, twice per day, you can't just not fuel the body and expect it to work or perform how you want it to. It's just not going to happen. And we're already in an environment that is different than the normal. Like, we're up at an elevation, so your performance is already going to be taking a hit while your body adapts to that. So you don't want to be in a low recovery environment and then be further hammering your recovery by not actually eating appropriately. So at one stage there was, roughly, I was trying to go to the 12 p.m. a.m. whatever midday class for jits, and we'd be training in the morning, so that would really only leave us with like 3 hours in between, or rather it would only leave me with 3 hours in between those sessions. And as a result, like, you have to be really focused on getting enough nutrition in, actually refueling. This is one of the times when meal timing actually does become more important. Like, most people are like, oh yeah, meal timing, I have to eat my 6 meals per day. Like, it's a load of baloney. It doesn't really do much. But if you are training multiple times per day, which not a lot of you are, you do have to be way more on top of your meal timing. You do have to be focused on actually, refilling your glycogen stores, your blood glucose, and obviously providing enough amino acids so that you can actually recover, especially if you're doing resistance training and trying to do some sports training. So all that stuff becomes more important, and this unfortunately is where all of this stuff kind of leaks into the general population, where something is important for a certain population, and because they do it, they then tell everyone that, oh, you must do that, so that's something to be aware of. If you are training multiple times per day, meal timing is more important. If you're not training multiple times per day, it's pretty much irrelevant outside of getting in a protein serving roughly every 3 to 5 hours, so that's 3 to 4 meals with a protein serving for most people, but yeah, overall nutrition, I'm just taking it handy. Like, the actual goal is to, like, I'm kind of in a weird place because I'm not trying to gain, not really trying to lose. Like, I am trying to tighten up a little bit, but ultimately my goal with all the training stuff is to get better at jiu-jitsu. Like, that's really all. Like, I really don't care how my body composition is. I really don't care how much muscle I have, how little body fat I have. Well, yes, all that stuff is important to a degree. It's not my main focus. It's something that I consider a side effect of my lifestyle habits, my health focused nutrition habits, and obviously the fact that, some days I'm training twice per day, so calorie output is quite high, So with nutrition at the moment, I'm basically just aiming for a calorie target and a protein target, you know, like on the days that I can, and especially in already on those days where I am training twice per day, like I am making more of a concerted effort to get in the carbohydrates that I need, especially in that window, that 3 hour window. Like obviously I'm fueling before my training session in the morning, but in that window in between those two sessions, I'm really focusing on those carbohydrates. But other than that, I'm pretty much just hitting my calorie goal and my protein goal. Like that's how I'm doing it. I'm still roughly tracking, and what I mean by roughly tracking is like I'm not weighing things out to the gram. I'm not, being ridiculously anal about how my nutrition is portioned. Like I really don't think that's going to give me a huge return on investment. However, as we've discussed on the podcast before, like I do enjoy actually tracking my food. I like to have a number. I like to be consistent with it, as I'm just pretty awful at tracking a day in my head, if that makes sense. Like I personally can't consistently get the calories right if I try to do it just purely in my head. Like I'll always be off. Gary can do it quite well for himself. A lot of people can do it quite well. Me personally, I always just find that if I go on hunger cues, or if I try to just eyeball it completely, like I'll basically not eat for large portions of the day, and then in my head I'm like, oh, I haven't eaten for a while, and then eat these ridiculously big meals, which then don't add up to the calories that I want to get in. So having some kind of structure, having some kind of goals, and actually keeping track of what I'm eating allows me to stay consistent with my diet. And again, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You actually being on a diet pattern that allows you to be consistent and thus able to actually achieve your goals, so it's all about that sustainability. Now obviously there's going to be times that you're going to be dieting and it's not going to be sustainable, and it's not going to be something that you see yourself doing long term. Maybe you are trying to get really push the envelope with getting lean, or maybe you're trying to really push the envelope with getting bigger, or whatever in between. You don't see yourself eating like that forever, but it is what you need to do in the moment. But anyway, that's where I am at with nutrition. Basically just hitting a calorie goal and hitting a protein goal, and after that, I just want to explore, enjoy new foods that I haven't eaten before, because obviously this is America and there's some pretty tasty foods here. Like this is a land of abundance, so that's where I'm at with nutrition. Where are you at with your nutrition?
So
just out for a little walk before we cook our dinner, purely because we are still committed to getting those steps in every day, because it is a big part of your calorie expenditure every day. And just going YOLO, I'm on holidays, I'm not going to hit it, like that's not going to lead to the best outcomes for your body composition, health, etc. Now most days we are actually getting way more than the goal, the 10k goal, especially when we go on like hikes and stuff, which obviously we will bring you along the next time. So yeah, some days we're getting 20k. Like there was one of the days I got like 25k, so some days are going to be much higher, and obviously some days are going to be much lower, but we are still trying to get that rough 10k mark, just because again it just makes things a lot easier. It allows us to eat the food we want to eat, and at the end of the day that's the main thing, isn't it? But yeah, this vlog hasn't been too exciting. Basically just wanted to reintroduce the fact that we are indeed going to start vlogging again, and then obviously wanted to talk a little bit about nutrition as well, but we will be going more in depth into that over the coming few vlogs, going to try to be somewhat consistent with these, as I know, you know, if you want to actually follow along with things, you want to see some content, you know, coming out in some sort of regular manner, rather than waiting like 2, 3, 4, 5 months like we do. But yeah, I'm just gonna wrap it up here, because realistically you don't want to see me just cooking some mince, or rather a ground beef on a pan and eating it. So wrapping it up here, we will catch you in the next one.